Hello, welcome back to Monster Train. In today's episode, it is 5:55 p.m. Today is Monday. I did my final presentation earlier today, and here I am now. It went okay. If you're keeping up on the saga, it went all right. Final presentation does not mean I am done with the class. It was, as ridiculous as it may seem, I still have another week of work, but including a massive document to write over the next 2 days. But that's a tomorrow problem. My head hurts, as it seems to often when I go to class. I think it's because I don't have coffee before I go, and then the caffeine thing. But I don't know. I had coffee when I got back, so why would I feel this way? I'm not a doctor. Let me ask you a question. I do have one today, and then we can get going. I noticed today, so I have two main pairs of sweatpants that I alternate between wearing, and what I noticed is that on one pair, I guess I'll ask you the question. Uh, if I were to ask you where is the drawstring or like the string that you tie for your sweatpants, what would you say it's on the outside or the inside? Because I realized that on one of my pairs of pants it is on the inside and on the other it's on the outside. And I went, hey, wait, is this not standardized? Does this just change pants to pants? That seems strange. But I don't know. What do you think? I think on the outside makes more sense personally because it's easier to tie, but I guess I can see the point of inside. You can hide the drawstring, but it's not like it's something you need to hide. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's roll. Exile, Melting, Wurmkin, Rage, and then Rage, but it's me. I'm the one raging on the last one. Wicklash, Hostingkin, Fatal Melting. Nothing really today. No, not a whole lot. Split Anvil, Mold Braces. It's a fade day. Mold Braces isn't great. I guess I'll go Split Anvil. It's a fade day. I have to mentally recognize, I have to say it a few times. I actually want to play Eternal Flame. We can do some other nonsense while Eternal Flame just buzzes around and hits enemies. I'm thinking perhaps... Probably don't take the unit draft. Thinking perhaps Endless Egg, or sorry, Reform Egg more accurately could be good. Fate is going to give a lot of damage shields up, I feel. I'm gonna set up a bastion of top floor train stewards for Fade to fall behind here. I think I prefer killing the bottom floor apprehensively because you can kill one or the other. Or wait, can I kill both? Hang on. You can kill both. Yeah. You would go Little Fade, and then we give her a Wicklash so she burns out after the next turn, and then we take his damage shield off. So kill this guy, burn out, and then be full health to wipe out the boss. A little bit of work to get there, but we end up on a 0 damage take combat, which is good. Yeah, and then the boss just dies. Cool. I think the trial would have made me take an unreasonable amount of damage for what I'm getting out of it. Although a unit draft isn't terrible here. I like the hollow drippings. It may not look it, but this card plays into any etch-based line, any inspire-based line, and any burnout-based line, which is pretty solid. So it's a very open card. I'll take the purple shelter. Melting Banner. I mean, I'm down to play a burnout line. We have Wicklash. Is Lady of the Reformed a burnout line? I mean, she's okay. I don't hate it. Doesn't really need burnout extension though. She is burnout extension. But like, I could see Lady Enforcer, and then Fade's just jumping around lower floors. Yeah, I could see it. We're probably gonna stay on 0 here. Yes. Lady of the Reformed is fine for the early game. If nothing else, it's a 1040 to stick Fade behind. You'll be fine. And we want to kill a train steward so that he comes back to life through burnout a few times, just an extra body and a few more stats. It's a pretty straightforward play through the early game, I think. I'm not gonna play Fade here yet, as much as I may want to. I'm going to Fracture the Collector, and it's fine to play. I think you should play Shelter here. I don't know. But what's the Lady of the Reform dies? What happens then? I just reform her. That's the whole point. The unit comes back to life if she dies. And then we Fracture here. And if I bring back Train Steward, if I put him in front, he'll burn out, which is a little bit better. And I should only end up taking 3 plus, you know, the 9 I took for the trial, which is you're accepting 9 damage when you take that trial. Of course, this is not a shock. I am not surprised by the revelation that I took damage on that trial, nor should you be. But when you take a clergyman trial, you're usually saying I'm not going to take any other damage on this combat, or if I am, it's going to be a small amount. And I mean, it does seem to be the case, doesn't it? We're going to leave here having taken 12 total? 3 from the combat and then 9 from the trial. Solid. Could have been, what, 8 or even a little lower, but as I'm looking at a burnout line, Whiplash makes sense. However, since I'm looking at a Paraffin Enforcer line, Dripfall makes sense to Dripfall the Divinity. And so here I am. Echo Transfer is good. I'm not spending my echoes on anything else. I'm not gonna pick an egg at this stage of the run. If there's a Paraffin Enforcer here, I'm pretty sure we have a winning line. Alright. Wickless Baron is okay. I don't really think he scales well enough. I find that this unit goes a little slow. And if I go Wickless Baron, I am invalidating the Wicklashes. Those cards are pretty worthless. On the other hand, 2 Barons and then you have Fade dying a bunch? I don't know. I think that this usually loses, but let's find out. We have it right here. Let's see it for ourselves. I feel pretty strongly that Wickless Baron tends to not win, but maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised today. We do have plus 15 in Echo Transfer. I'll learn to Woken Stygian. Give me Stygian. Yeah, I was thinking Siren's Song would not be bad here. Although, what does it really do for me? Actually, probably nothing. It's a little bit worse now that I think about it because of the Barons even. Stone is bad. Plus 10 Piercing Hole over Fatal Melting sounds like a winning idea. Too bad the magic shops are distant, but that's okay. Plus 10 Piercing on Fatal Melting will kill all the backliners, and then your Wickless Baron just has to kill some heavies with a little assistance from Fade. I think it's fine. Just Rage Talos. Hang on, I'm thinking about this. I think the turn is supposed to look like this, where we feed the armor and we don't care. And the rough idea is Wickless Baron here, behind Lady for this combat. Little Fade in front, dying every turn and killing one, buffering for the Lady, and also giving a harvest. That seems to be the idea to me. good to not take the damage, I feel. We have enough burnout extension that Lady of the House is going to be fine. Like, here you might think that everything is okay, but often I find that it becomes a lot harder to keep up this pace of killing the enemies. But this is a strong pace that we are going. Kills you, yeah, we're like, it pans out reasonably well. I think I can afford a Whiplash here on the Baron, but I also don't think I need it, and there's a chance that it causes problems, so 4 and 9 is 13. I should not play Shelter, because then Little Fade lives. I should give Fade permanent plus 10 though, because the burnout doesn't carry through, but the plus 10 does. Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, so what I was thinking about there is I saw Little Fade have 3 burnout, and I had to think about why that would be. It's because the sweep hits the Lady of the Reformed, which in turn gives Fade an extra 1 from her burnout 2 gain. A strange position. But yeah, you might look at this and you might go, wow, 100, 106, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? But at the end of the day, it's a snowball effect, and it's a lot easier to snowball on the early combats. I don't think it's that outlandish, but, you know. Held Halls is okay, but I already have a good holdover target. This card isn't terrible, though, because of Split Anvil, but I think Intent on Death makes more sense to me. And I don't need space right now. I don't think I'm playing 3 Barons. Because I want to go to the magic shop here, so I don't think I'm going to play 3 Barons because I have to skip a magic shop. So I'll take draw. We're going to go look for multi-strike. Without multi-strike, I think this run is in a pretty bad spot. Of course. We have a lot of steel shops to find it. It could be this one even. You never know. Oh, wow, it is this one. Incredible. Now, I've lost a run because I gave a self-infused Wickless Baron 2 multi-strike, and what ended up happening was he just died on turn 2 before any harvest happened, and I went, oh, yeah. I guess that can happen. I'm gonna stay low on pack shreds. Remember what we learned yesterday as well. I don't think I'm strong enough to be sending myself. I would rather take the trial, yeah. It does well. It's never bottom floor for the Baron. He needs time. Time to power up a little. And then I could play Train Steward, but I don't think I will. Why not? He's a harvest when you think about it, because I'm going to want to play Primitive Mold anyway, so I may as well take the harvest. Fade goes down bottom floor. This is a little bit of a process question of, well, I made her too strong. Oh well, it's fine. I was gonna say you play your bottom floor here because you don't want to rob a kill from or rob a harvest, but as it turns out, you're robbing a harvest anyway. I have to be a little cautious here of letting Fade live on accident. Shouldn't really ever be a case or like a problem, but I have to think out the turn slightly. Like here, even. This turn is fine, Fade goes in front. Here Fade lives, so I would rather play and kill. And then I'm not gonna play the unit, the Train Steward here, there's no reason to. He doesn't die. And on this turn you play Fade. He kills the Clip Defender, dies here, takes 14. And then next turn I actually think we're fine. Okay, we're okay. Because now the Baron is high enough that he kills the Light Harnessers through their infusion. Now with Fatal Melting here. And that looks fine. Baron's 100 times 2. We have a little fade at 245.15. Yeah, she actually almost just wins this. Only a little bit off. Which is pretty silly. I mean, Fade does win it without even the Baron taking a swing. But solid, I would say. Please, Fade, please don't call them Featherface. That's definitely rude. Remnant Host is the guy. That's the dude right there. He's the Harvest Menace. I don't need Steel Shop. I could go look for Endless, but we have Reform, so... Let's go kill off some Train Stewards. Bang, bang. You just gain an extra upgrade slot. It's nice because if I see Holdover here, I can then... I'm definitely going to another Steel Shop. So that does seem like it makes sense. And then we re-roll. I cannot afford any of that. There was a chance I would be able to. What on earth would I double up on here? What, like... Intent on Death Echo Transfer, maybe? I don't think I would do this. I think I would just Purge a spell. We can start getting rid of these Whiplashes. I think that makes more sense. And I should watch my pack shards. Yeah, we don't want to end up in a weird position here. 50, 60... I don't really want to go that direction. Plus 40, no. I guess it's a Purge Stone on the other Whiplash. 45, 60... 85, I need to take 15 is where I am right now. I don't think it's plus 30 magic power though. We'll take whatever the other one has. Okay. I'm ready. The rest of this run, it doesn't quite play itself, but I see the lines that we're going to follow. It looks alright. Whenever possible, it is going to be good to start our turn 1 by playing Fade and killing Fade like so. That is a strong first play. And second play. I'm gonna play Intent on Death on the Collector. Oh, I should have pushed one of the Sycophants to the back. Because now there's a whole issue here. Fade strikes first. What happens when you do this? Minus 30 is nice. And what happens when you play Fade? She should go in the front. 40. 50. Here's the real question. If I were to throw out enough Whiplashes here, I have 4. Is 8 burnout enough to survive this combat? I don't think so. I think that's the sort of play that is too cute and just kills you. I think that's trying to be too cute with it and you lose the game for it. And it's much better to just take the 12. That is my hypothesis. Now, I don't really want to play any of these cards. I guess I could play Remnant Host, but... Does this work? It dies. It takes the 9-2, so... This is alright. I don't really want to play Fatal Melting. I do want the Hosting Kin down here, though. I'm trying to... Because I always lose this sort of a run, I feel. And so I'm trying to make sure that what I am doing is making sense. This Remnant Host does not... No, it does die. Yes, okay. That guy's gonna go a little hard. And so far, I mean, look at this Wickless Baron. He's a 130, 150, and I was worried. And I had misgivings about the integrity of this run. Ridiculous, am I right? Can you believe this guy? Oh, you have 16 HP now on the Remnant Host, huh? 145 hits here first. Then you put the 35 and you should kill them all. Yeah, I see. Okay. Probably the most thinking I've done on a little Fade run in recent memory. It's just a lot of math to make sure my numbers are panning out correctly. Oh, also I should have had Fade die once. It doesn't matter. There's no way this guy, the sweet boss, is punching through my Wickless Baron. My man is huge. So yeah, I took 20. Why did I... Oh, because he has 10 HP. It's not 12, it's 20, of course. I go Votivary. I go skip. Purple Votivary is pretty hard to pass up on. Double Extinguishes would be just awful to see here. Would hate that. I can't purge too many spells, but at the same time, yeah, I can, because what the hell do I care? Yeah, that's a great point. I was gonna say I don't want to purge too many spells because what about Diligent Seraph, but like, who gives a shit? Yeah, who cares? It's a great counterpoint. Vapor Funnel sounds good to me. Hold over for the Fatal Melting also sounds good to me. I don't really care for -1 that much here. I think I'm just gonna go. I don't really want any of this. I double stack Permafrost? No, I'm okay. Oh, you know what? I wouldn't mind Remove Consume, actually. Okay. The -1s just don't really matter, because the cards that cost 1 in this deck don't matter to play that much. They're just echoes, and echoes aren't important that much here. Alright, Fade goes bottom 4. No, Fade should go top 4 here. Sorry, I didn't think that one through all the way. Fade should be feeding an early harvest here. Okay, we get a double feature on top 4 now. You cannot play Intent on Death on Little Fade here, because then she'll just one-shot this statue, and that's no good. This is where things get a little difficult, because I can't really get Fade to die consistently, you know? Never mind, she dies here. Don't play Shelter, we don't play anything else, it all gets in the way. I know I let this walk up high health, I'm not afraid. I have Fatal Melting. Yeah, this is where it starts to get hard to get Fade to die. I guess the Fractures are here for that, really. If I play one more spell, the Votivary dies? Yeah, look at that. A lot of little stuff to do here. Fade, or Foul, fuck you. Don't do this. BM, not cool. Unappreciated. I do not want to kill the 22-8. That is correct. Because Fade's killing the frontliner. Best to let the Votivary die. And then Fade die to Reef. Fracture is very good in this deck, I just didn't realize it. Fade kills one, the other one dies to Votivary. I play Intent on Death. I should play Fatal Melting first, just so I can play it off. Fatal Melting, or Intent on Death and then Double Fracture kills Little Fade. What did I have so many echoes? Do I really just have so many purple cards? I didn't feel like I should have that many. I had charged echoes there. That looked wrong. I don't think I can kill Fade on this combat, or on this turn rather. I guess it's fine. I mean, we have a 145 health. I guess, really, what am I talking about, to be honest with you, is what I need to ask. I just kill Fade here, and then she comes back, and it's all good. I am going to just press enter. I'm not playing this optimally anymore, and I don't know if I need to care. I don't see where that's my issue. The boss is a more than dead. Extremely toasted. 245 quick Fade for one space. I don't know how good that really is. We do have a ton of echoes, so Echoes of the Past ends up being a little better, but is there a but to that? No, I think that card is very good. Am I taking space? Yeah. There's enough shit on my floor that I need space. Now, am I going to the removals? I don't really want removals, and I don't need anything from the magic shop, so I can go look. We have Firestone housing. I could see a multi-strike here. Echo Stone is worse because we have Echoes of the Past. Quick is strange. I am okay without a spike here. You can make your case for a Woken Spike. Go ahead, type out about how I should take a Woken Spike. I will disagree. I just don't think it does anything here. My 15 is a spell chain. It's fine, we can spell chain. Intent on Death is okay. 1 and then 2 to buff up Fade, that seems fine. I don't mind. 10 and 15 is indeed 25. Alright. I'm ready. I'm just like triple checking my math there. 75 plus 15 plus 10. It does pan out. 6-5 shouldn't be that much of a concern here, although I might just be overstepping and dying for this. I don't think we have much cause for concern, but I will want to do something about the this. Yeah, so what I mean by this is there's a point that you have to reach here where you recognize that if I let as much as I would love to get Fade a kill on top 4 or a death on top 4 every turn, is much more important to do this. It will definitely die here. I have to expose this Gilded Wing. I need that to be the target that Fade is swinging into. Yeah, because currently, and this is where Wickless Baron often feels like he falls a little flat. He is doing 30 on turn 3. Now he has a little bit of help coming in from the team. Little Fade tanks. Covenant Host here. Doesn't even kill though. I'm gonna pop the Remnant Host as well. I can't reform it and play it for anything meaningful, but we end up with just enough. Still, not ideal, you know? You gotta recognize that one. You gotta look at it and say, okay, I need to sack one of my harvests for Little Fade here. And this is specifically the point in the game where I feel like if you're trying to bank everything on Wickless Baron, you're gonna have an unfortunate experience. You ever read that book series when you were a kid? A series of unfortunate experiences? No, me neither. I read the other one. It's not a real book series, but how about a new bit for Monster Train? I make a reference to something that actually did not exist, and then I gaslight you for the rest of the video talking about it and things that happened in it. Man, I loved in a series of unfortunate encounters when this thing happened, and then like the show just doesn't exist though, is the thing. And there is no unfortunate encounter. Remember on the series of unfortunate encounters when Orange Orange rind? No, that seems too unbelievable. That's not a good enough. Hold on, I gotta work. Give me a second. Remember on a series of unfortunate encounters when my favorite character... I'm very bad at coming up with names on the spot, as I feel most people are. It's not easy to do. Make up a name right now. Do it. How'd you do? Type the name you made up down below. Let me know. I'll judge it, I swear. Because I feel like they're all too unbelievable. Whatever you come up with off the top is never gonna feel real. Because like I would probably have a better time coming up with a fake name if I had actually read these books. I did not read the series of unfortunate event books when I was a kid. I lied to you when I said that. That was it. That was untruthful of me. I apologize. I was going along with the bit, you know, that's how it goes. Anyway, the new bit, keep an eye out for it. I'm just gonna gaslight you for an entire episode. I'm just gonna lie to you. I'm not even gonna call it gaslighting, I'm just gonna lie. Crushing Demise. It's okay. This is the problem with Crushing Demise. This is like the card. This is in case of emergency, break glass, and you pull out Crushing Demise and gamble. If it ever kills a Wickless Baron, you're probably losing the combat. But you don't want to play it on a different floor because then you're losing harvests. It's the real catch-22 of cards. A multi-strike here would be exceptional. Ah, okay, it's exceptional. This is as good as it can get for Wickless Baron here. I mean, now it's as good as it can get for Wickless Baron here. Endless Remnant Host to top it all off. If this doesn't win, this unit is truly hopeless. He's got it all going for him here. He's got the little Fade, he's got the Endless Remnant Host, he's got the Votavary. He's got the whole package. None of this really matters. I'll take Firewall. Sure, Mark of a Champion makes Fade do very silly looking numbers. And let's get rid of... I no longer need Primitive Mold whatsoever, so let's clear all of these out. Clear out Primitive Mold, you've been bought out. Now, I know it's Diligent Seraph, you're removing too many spells. This is the important point that you would like to take away from this. I don't care. I deeply and truly do not care. And what that actually means is that there are not many spells that I play that make a meaningful difference over the course of this run. So, I just can ignore it. Does Reap... When does Reap go? Let's learn something. When does Reap go? Does Reap cause there to be 2 drafts on the floor just sitting? It does! Reap goes after Burnout. Interesting. I remember when I was playing originally, I thought what I learned was that Burnout was the very last thing to happen on the turn. But I guess since then they have added in a lot more stuff, so... And things have changed many times, I am sure. Still, interesting. 11 to 14. So Fade should go in front. Wait, really? Oh, because she does 188 here. Sure. And then 2 doesn't kill her. What if I Echo Transfer this guy? Does that sound terrible? That sounds pretty bad. I don't think that's the idea. It is an idea, but I don't think that's the idea. Ultimately, if the Remnant Host lives on a turn in this combat, that is probably overall a good sign for the trajectory of the combat. Yeah, I should kill one of these. There's too many hits here going on. I don't have enough hits, because you know he's going to follow this floor up and he's going to triple it up. Because that's just what Seraph does. That's how Dogs is. Oh yeah, I have this holdover Fatal Melting. Don't forget about that card. Fade goes here. You play Hollow Dripping so that we consume it. You play Fatal Melting. Now here's a very fun and interesting thing that I never remember. How much does the second Intent on Death cost here? I think it might cost 0. It does cost 2, okay. I was incorrect. Yeah, Remnant Host is kind of cleaning up house, though. The card is very good here. And Fatal Melting. I guess ultimately we have enough support for the cause here. I need to kill Fade, though. I'll kill her with, like, a pushback or a reap or something. But we have enough harvest support. You just have to focus a lot of your efforts on making sure you get enough harvest in your diet, or else your run crumbles. I recognize, by the way, Vodaveri was kind of phased out of this run. It's okay. She got a severance package. Or he. They, I suppose. Vodaveri got a severance package for this run. Don't you worry. Don't you concern yourself. Vodaveri's doing just fine. Should have maybe even removed Vodaveri. But, hey, you know what? Yeah, I guess my experiences with the unit Wickless Baron in the past are not representative of how the unit actually pans out always. And he can do it, but also, how much of this is just a little fade? How much of this run looking like this is just, oh yeah, and by the way, your champion is a 788-28 with endless quick. How much of this is that? I would argue an amount, like a reasonable amount of it. Having a chump blocker that kills an enemy for you every round is pretty helpful. But, hey, you know what? It's fine, Wickless Baron. My opinion has gone up a little bit. The redemption of the Baron begins today. We can go Vodaveri. I can just play it all. This is where the run really ramps up like crazy, because the Divinity now kills all of the units on top 4 for me every turn, which makes it much easier to harvest on the first 2 turns, which gives us a great boost in the early game. Aid can go get him. Baron here. Revenant Host here. I could even go so far as to hosting Kinfade, because I don't care about the damage on the Divinity, and then get an extra kill with Vodaveri in. Too much armor. Let's catch the other Wickless Baron up. Yeah, it catches him up off by 1, but that's fine. Oh yeah, because Fade died first. You would draw Remnant Host there. That does check out. I thought that didn't make sense, but it did. Doesn't matter. I was thinking that Fade had to be present for these units to die, and then I thought about it a little more. But yeah, you can start to see this one really ramp up here. I thought about buying the Reap Relic to Reap Fade to make sure that she dies repeatedly, which would be pretty goofy, to be honest with you. Get +1 Reap to kill little Fade and nothing else. That would be a little silly. But not necessarily a bad idea. Yeah, as if the rest of this wasn't enough, we have this holdover Fatal Melting to really seal the deal here. Here, Fade, make sure you're taking your normal pills. Is Fracture the best card to have with Little Fade? I think it might be, because the flexible damage output it offers you is really nice. Like, the flexible damage output on Little Fade is very nice. But specifically, it is extremely good to be able to go, hey Little Fade, could you take a little more damage here? Like, could you just take 8 here, please, Little Fade? Thank you. Because usually, you don't find yourself in positions very often where you care to take less damage, I guess, is how I would say it. Like, Torch does 2 damage. How often are you torching yourself and you want that? I mean, I guess the answer to this question is, in Hellhorned it's actually reasonably viable, and in Stygian it's viable that you would want to torch yourself and take less damage because revenge triggers, right? Revenge triggers care, and incants care, because sometimes you can't torch an enemy, and in those cases Reap is worse, but in this case all we care about is Fade dying every turn, and that is a given now. And that's good. Anyway, it was a lot of words. It's an interesting thought, but ultimately the answer to that question is it depends, because all of the clans play very differently, and that's one of the strengths of Monster Train. It was a 40-minute run, but I did make sure that I didn't make any earth-shattering mistakes. So you can make mistakes there in the mid game. It may not seem it, but if you don't focus up, you let an enemy walk by you, or more accurately, if you don't focus up there, instead of taking this 20, you lose the run, and that's where it's really bad. You put the burnout on the Wickless Baron to try to survive, and then you just die to the boss, and you go, ah, yeah, whoops. It can happen. It probably wouldn't have happened because Fade would have maybe killed the boss, but it's hard to say. Extrapolating that one out is tough. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave me a like, subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.